Yeah, I don't know if I could pull that off. I don't know if I'm cool enough. Hi, this is Blake Bettner, managing editor of Warning Wound.
And I'm Zach Weiss, co-founder of Warning Wound.
This is On Wrist Reaction. We are reacting to a handful of watches that one or both of us have never really seen, not really spent much time with, haven't really had much time to form too many opinions, so you're just getting our raw reaction to some of these watches.
I literally don't know what's in that box.
I'm gonna pull one out here that I think you might be the most familiar with. We'll start with this one. It's a Volcan Chronograph.
Okay.
This is a, I don't know if they call it a reissue, but it's a watch that they made in the 70s. A dual register, quite handsome chronograph. I believe this is a hand-wound Salida movement. This is the black dial. I believe it comes in a blue dial as well. Really nice size on this thing. Overall proportions, they really kind of nailed the vintage vibe of it. So Volcan's been on a roll lately, bringing back a lot of their kind of older greatest hits, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is certainly among them.
Yeah.
What do you think of this thing?
I think this is really nice. And well, first, it's just nice to see Volcan kind of come back and be a little bit more in the spirit, I think, of what a Volcan originally was. They've moved up, you know, up market for a while, got very pricey. You know, brands try these things, and I guess it just didn't work for them. But they're kind of like they're an everyman's watch. I mean, the Volcan Cricket is like a purposeful thing for, you know, people to use. It shouldn't be too expensive. So they've brought that back down with their in-house movement. That was the first kind of part of this relaunch.
The casework is nice. A lot of the details, small details in the dial, I think they got right.
It is very good.
It's a really nice price as well, around $2,000.
That is a very nice price for this.
But I think it's a lot of watch for the money. I think, and again, kind of some of the small details that you want to be right in a watch like this are right.
If you are looking for a vintage style chronograph, but it's modern, this is that, with a great brand name. I also love Volcan's logo, which is very helpful to me. I don't know, that's the kind of thing that kind of like makes or breaks a brand for me, and Volcan has a very nice logo and always has. I also like, I guess with there's been so many panda dials out there, which I you know, I love all that too, but sometimes like a straight black dial chronograph is really nice, and you know, it's a touch dressy. I think you could dress this up or down with straps, etc.
It's a nice chronograph. There's not much else to say about it. We'll have a more in-depth review coming on this one soon. Like I said, there's also a blue dial. Overall, super handsome watch, I think, at a great price point. And of course, the brand has that kind of like heritage pedigree that's there. Yeah, overall, really cool watch. All right, next we're going to move to a watch that I actually just bought. It just arrived. It was a new release from our friend at Brew. This is a Metric in black. All right, you got to give me your impression here on the hour markers. To me, they read like they're kind of warm goldish, but not quite gold, but it definitely seems like there's a warm tone to them. Overall, I think we're both pretty big fans of the Metric and Brew in general.
I didn't know you got it.
This might be my favorite Metric.
So my immediate first reaction to this is that this is really giving me kind of Porsche vibes.
Yes.
It's very different looking too, but just the all black, you know, dial is kind of very stripped down. You have that kind of, you have a nice orange here. It's not too loud of an orange, but it's definitely jumping out. Yeah. It has that sort of stripped down racing feel to it. Because it's all black, I mean, I can't even find a logo on there. There is a logo. It's like blind embossed.
It's just that bean, right? It's
the
bean. Coffee.
Just a bean.
Is that what it is, right? It's like a coffee bean, because brew, the coffee, like. But this, it's not like this has that. It wears beautifully. What do you think about the crown and the pushers in that kind of like matte silver?
I love it. I mean, that's just a fun thing to do, and I like that it adds a little contrast. You know, this makes it more interesting. It's cool. To me, you know?
And look, this watch has proven to be like pretty adept at going into a lot of different directions. He's got some really colorful versions of these, the all gold one as well, and the black, and it looks very different in each configuration, and I think it works pretty well in all of them. And I think you're right about the Porsche design. I took this home and put it right next to, the first thing I did was pull out my Chronograph 1 and put them right next to each other, and they read very similarly. And then like the slight warmth to the hands and the hour markers. Maybe I'm crazy with thinking that.
I do see that. I mean, I don't know if it's reflecting something in the room, but that tone definitely is a little bit different than the pusher tone.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, it's warm. It's some warmth to it. So it's not like a fauxtina or anything like that. It literally just looks like the color of the material that's in it. So, and for under $500,
yeah, that's a lot of fun. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Next one. What do we got?
I think you know something about this. Hopefully you know more about it than I do. It's the Atelier Holger.
I know nothing about this.
You know nothing about this?
I think...
Much either. I think this is using the Schwarz-Etienne movement, though. So
okay. Oh, that's
pretty exciting.
Titanium.
Like, micro rotor movement in the back.
Wow.
It's quite a good looking movement, but the case is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how I quite feel about the case, but particularly the area between the kind of like lug. It's kind of like a hooded section there that covers.
Some fancy finishing on this. Yeah, this is very surprising. So you have a modern, sporty diver kind of thing. Definitely titanium. It weighs very little. Quite fancy finishing. A lot of bead blasting, but then polishing on the top of the lugs. So it gives it almost the look of a classic lug. But you're saying then there's like finishing in there. It's sort of a hooded thing. Yeah. And then you flip that over and boom, there's this Schwarz-Etienne micro rotor movement, which is Ming uses these on his watches. Obviously Schwarz-Etienne uses them. This is really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what this might cost? Because that's my question.
I think just under $9,000.
Under 9. So, okay. I was thinking you're gonna say closer to 20. So
no, it's
because these movements are hefty. Yeah.
It's a very impressive movement to see. There's also another surprise in the case. It's a fixed lug. So this sounds like a little tab with Velcro that you have to undo to pull the strap out.
Look at that.
And yeah, I'm a huge fan of a fixed lug design. Yeah. This is really cool.
I like the combination of Velcro here is quite smart. This is not something you want to accidentally peel off. Not that it would.
It's nice to see this movement kind of making its way into other watches like this, and especially this feels like kind of very much its own thing. Like it's not trying to look like anything else.
Modern, kind of aggressive, kind of Germanic. Yeah. Lightweight.
It's not like adhering to the design codes of any specific genre, and I like it when watches kind of go outside of that, like kind of well treaded paths, I guess. So,
I guess my one sort of conceptual critical comment about this: does this watch need such a robust or high-end movement to be successful, sort of as like a lightweight sport watch? But that puts it into this firmly luxury territory, where you don't necessarily need a Schwarz-Etienne micro rotor movement to make a watch this thick, or have a sub-second at 6. So that's kind of my one question is really what is the goal there? Could this have been more successful, but equally as successful, let's say, as a $3,000 watch or whatever? But yeah, I mean, quite surprising and certainly interesting.
Yes, certainly interesting.
Yeah, very light. It's very comfortable. I like how it fits my wrist.
Yeah, I have kind of mixed feelings overall on this watch, but I like that it's something firmly kind of different and
definitely different. Nothing vintage here.
Nothing vintage. It's pushing ahead. I agree with you on the movement comment. Is there enough there to justify like the vision of the watch? I think there's something to be said about that. And
it's tough territory for a brand to enter into. So I don't I don't know much about what their goals are, but if you're coming out the door with a $9,000 watch, you're entering into rough waters. So
some very nice watches in that territory from very well-known brands. So it's a very cool movement. So if you're hunting down specifically this movement, obviously your options are rather limited.
Yeah, that might be the most.
Might be the most approachable one.
Most approachable.
There is.
Schwarz-Etienne micro rotor.
Yeah. All right.
Very interesting.
All right. So those are our 3 watches.
Okay, but I have another watch.
Okay. He's got another watch
in my pocket.
I don't know what this
Blake
is.
has not seen this. This arrived this morning.
Okay.
This is the Timeless.
Oh my goodness.
HMS 3.
Okay.
So this is the 3rd version of the HMS from this brand. I've seen these on social media. They reached out. I really wanted to check it out in person, and hence why it's here. And once again, I don't know a ton. I know it's a Swiss automatic. I know it's around $1,200. And I know it's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's like it's like steampunk and guilloche, and like, once again, like that Holger, this is out of the blue. This is not playing by the design trends of today so much.
Yes, the steampunk vibes immediately kind of come off of this, and particularly like the kind of dual tonage on the case
there's
here.
Some really cool
with
case
the lug.
work on this.
I don't need these plaques on the side of the case. I know this is like something that people do.
They're not the only brand that does this, but it never quite clicks for me either.
But this is a really interesting watch and quite compelling to look at. Really like how the numbers are treated on this kind of like angled Rayhot section, and then this date.
There's a lot
cutting into it.
My initial, there's a lot going on in this watch, and I think I'll spend a little more time with it, do a hands-on. But my initial reaction is, is this Coco Chanel quote, which I'm going to butcher, but it's something along the lines of like, take a look in the mirror before you go out and take one thing off.
Yeah,
you know,
okay,
and and it's sort of like to simplify and reduce. And I feel like there are so many details going on here. It's almost hard to stop and pick one. And from everything from how the typography is executed to the combination, the finishing, to the date window, like every little thing has kind of been designed a lot. But it's not unattractive. It's just a little overwhelming.
There's a lot of small details going on here. But boy, yeah, this is a fun watch.
It's a fun watch.
To experience. This is my first time. So I feel like I've seen pictures of this on the internet.
I also like the case back is fully domed metal, which I feel like makes watches sort of sit a little bit more comfortably sometimes.
Yeah, kind of nests into your wrist a little bit. Yeah.
Nice little detail there.
Yeah, okay, this is really interesting. I look forward to hearing more of your thoughts about this. And the crown has a lot going on in it too. I think you're probably right about maybe pulling one thing back, but I think conceptually this is pretty cool territory here.
And it is nicely finished. Like there's a lot of finishing going on. You have matte, you have very nice brushing along the case, mid case. You have polished around the very edge there. Like they literally went through every possible detail and designed something, which
like what
that's thorough. That's thorough. So anyway, more to come on this as well. That's the Timeless HMS.
Timeless HMS. Look at that. All kinds of surprises here. All right, these 4 watches here, which one are you taking home?
I mean, I'm a simple guy. I'm probably going with the Brew.
Okay.
Just because, not that that's simple, but because I have things that are sort of in that vocabulary in my life already. Which means I also don't need another one. Multiple of those Porscheras.
Sure.
But it's like a thing that works for me, and those are watches I enjoy wearing all the time. So I just know I would wear this a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my answer. How about you?
I'd probably Brew since I already own it. Like this Volcan is really interesting. I feel like if I spent some more time with these two, I might find more things to really kind of enjoy about them. I feel like this is one that I might either come down on the side of like, ooh, I really like this, or I really strongly dislike it after spending time with it. And it could be either way. I don't know. And then this one. I don't know if I could pull that off. I don't know if I'm cool enough to pull this off.
You're wearing this carbon fiber
format.
You're a cool guy.
This is.
I love guilloche.
The guilloche is very nice.
It's got a little touch of guilloche style.
These all have their very own, unique kind of personality.
These are very different watches.
But that's what we think on these 4 watches. We're curious about what you think. We will be having reviews of these on the site. Please don't be shy about letting us know your thoughts. Any questions that you might have about these watches, put them all in the comments below. We want to hear them. Is this too expensive? What watch would you be going for $8,000? There's a lot of compelling options in that. Is the movement enough here? Let us know. Let's get a conversation going on that. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. And if you enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a like and share. Until next time, take care.